Hey everybody, it's Yvonne DeVita from Scratchins and Sniffins Out Loud, and I have a really exciting segment this week. This week, Dr. Larry and I are trying a little something new. We're going to do a call-in feature where we have someone who sent us a really interesting question that Dr. Larry's going to answer. Her name is Catherine Dudley, and Catherine wrote in and had this question about her cat. Catherine, welcome to Scratchins and Sniffins Out Loud.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello, and Dr. Larry, welcome to this week to Scratchins and Sniffins Out Loud.
Hi.
Catherine, tell us a little bit about the problem you're having with your cat.
Okay. I have a cat that's now about 6 months old. Adopted him from a friend, and I was one who really wanted a cat. He has. I live with my sister, and so it seems that the cat is taken to my sister, and he has a tendency to show aggression towards me when we're in the room together. And
can I ask one question very quickly? Did you and your sister pick him out together?
No, I picked him out myself.
Okay, go ahead.
And so he has a tendency to kind of scratch and bite at me, although I'm not quite sure why he does that. And how would I get him to stop? Or is there anything that I can change about the way I approach him so that he won't kind of scratch or bite at me?
Well, when you look at feline behavior issues and you look at things like aggressive play, this is what Catherine's talking about is, we describe in veterinary medicine as aggressive play, and that can involve biting or scratching. And most of the time, it's rooted, I'm going to start to sound like a head shrinker here now for cats, but most of the time it's rooted in early kitten development. And when you think back to, when kittens are born, the only influences they have are the queen, the mother, and their fellow littermates, the other kittens in the litter.
Okay. And
they learn all about their surroundings and interacting from the mom and their littermates. And oftentimes, if a kitten is deprived of that experience, like if they're removed from the litter too soon, or if they're orphaned or something like that, and they don't get those early learning experiences, then they don't know how to behave later in life. And one of the things that can happen is they can be overly aggressive, and they can be fearful and bite out of fear. And what happens when they're in the litter is that they learn play behavior. They learn when they've gone too far. The queen, the mom, will whack them, or she'll grab them by the neck, or, she'll startle them. And is this sounding kind of logical to you, Catherine?
I understand. I'm understanding what you're saying.
I don't know if you know anything about the history of this particular kitten, but it's common in this type of behavior problem for them not to have had a normal growing up period. And what I'm talking about is just the first 7-8 weeks, because a lot of times we get kittens when they're 7, 8, 9 weeks of age. But that's enough time for them to have learned how to interact with their littermates and to learn and their mother to have taught them really kind of how to behave socially.
Okay.
And if they don't get that, it can result in what you're seeing.
All right.
So can I ask a question? I had a cat similar, Catherine, years ago, and he preferred my daughter, which was okay because it was her cat. But Dr. Larry, I read somewhere once that one of the best ways to kind of not discipline, but kind of get the cat to do what you want was to tap it on the nose. Is that true? It never worked with this cat.
Well, what people describe, or behaviorists describe, and you might want to consult with one of them, Catherine, but is to startle the cat when it starts to exhibit this type of behavior. Like, if you see it flatten its ears back, or you see it start to twitch its tail, those are signs that a cat is about to do something. And in fact, when they're about to jump on some prey, those are the kind of the signals that they give out. And there are ways to startle cats, like even a loud voice, or a can full of pennies or something like that makes a lot of noise. Even a water spray, like a water gun or just a spray bottle.
Right.
Those are commonly used techniques to startle them, and what the startling does is just kind of breaks the behavior, and the cat doesn't, get to fulfill the bad behavior. And then once that bad behavior, once they're startled out of the bad behavior, then is the time to give them some praise, and some kind of gentle petting.
Okay.
But it's the startling, and one thing that you might want to get your sister to help you do this, because it would be better for her to be the startler as opposed to you.
Okay. Yeah, because
that makes sense.
Right.
The cat's just going to get more irritated with you if you start startling him.
Uh-huh.
But
I've
it's common.
heard the bottle thing, and that seems to be pretty popular, and I think it's popular because it works.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I think physical discipline doesn't really work with cats. It doesn't really work with dogs either, because they usually don't understand what they're getting disciplined for.
Uh-huh.
Or, and they, especially if it's timed poorly, 10 seconds after the objectionable behavior, they've forgotten about it. And so if they get punished at that time, they don't know what's going on.
Okay.
So if you could get your sister to help you, and you could get in a normal situation where the two of you are in a room, and you kind of approach the cat, and the cat kind of lays its ears back or something like that,
mm-hmm.
that could be a good time for your sister to give it a little squirt with a water gun. And then, once the cat is kind of out of the frame of mind that it's going to attack you, pet them and see if you can't pick them up, something like that. And just kind of do this gradually. And oftentimes, if you're kind and gentle with your cat, like you say, that it gradually gets better.
Okay.
Because they begin to think of you as their family and you as their litter mates, and it's just because they didn't learn this at 5-6 weeks of age doesn't mean they can't learn it from you.
Okay.
How was that, Catherine? Did that help?
Yes, it did. It helped a lot.
What I find weird is that why the cat doesn't do this with your sister. That's what's odd to me.
I don't understand that either. I guess my sister has a different personality than I do. I'm kind of laid back and calm and not really mean-tempered. And as far as I'm not really aggressive.
Well, I think
she's got more of a commanding voice or something like that, and so he hears her when she says no.
Well, that could be it. I mean, it's funny in dogs. Dogs, they're pack animals, and with the way they interact with family members, I can brush my dog Darcy, and brush her with a comb, and she'll just sit there and let me brush her. If Chris tries to brush her, Darcy will turn around and kind of growl at her. And I think it's because we have a different kind of hierarchy of the relationship. Darcy, I think, thinks she's kind of at the same level in the family as Chris. But she doesn't, she'll put up with a lot more from me. So that could be what's going on, that your cat kind of senses that your sister is the dominant one in the relationship, then comes the cat, then comes you.
Okay.
That sounds kind of funny, but it's probably true. So I think Dr. Larry's advice that your sister be the one to use the water bottle, and get the pennies too. So she does that a little bit of different kind of startling, and gradually everything should work out. We've got to wind up now, but Catherine, I would like to hear from you again down the road and see how things are going. Would you write to me?
Yes, I would. I definitely would.
Well, okay, thank you today, Catherine, for calling in and helping us and letting us help you with a Scratchins and Sniffins Out Loud
question. All right, thank you. All right.
See you, Catherine.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.